A standoff between Federal Border Patrol and Texas state officials is intensifying following a Supreme Court ruling in favor of the Biden administration.
Hi, Dana. This is Shelby Park along the Rio Grande River here in Eagle Pass. Our viewers may recognize it as one of the hottest spots for illegal immigration anywhere on the southern border. And as it stands right now, Texas has seized control of this park and banned federal agents.
Top Texas officials say they will not comply with the deadline to allow federal border agents access to a park along the Rio Grande.
So the tension between the state and the federal government has led to some calls for the president to take control of the Texas National Guard. Fox 4's
a showdown at the U.S. southern border between local authorities in Texas and the federal government over how to handle the influx of migrants.
We're here under the governor's order in order to protect Texas.
Texas Governor Greg Abbott continuing what's known as Operation Lone Star, a nearly 3-year-old initiative to deter migrants from illegally crossing into the U.S., from adding extra troopers like Sergeant Cordova at the border, placing floating barriers in the river, passing laws that allow state and local law enforcement to arrest migrants who entered Texas illegally, and the latest, installing razor wire along the banks of the Rio Grande.
So I'm down here live at the border, Eagle Pass in Texas, and these boys have absolutely got it locked down. No two ways about it. Now, I know a lot of people on YouTube and other social platforms are saying that there's gates that are wide open and there's all sorts of holes in this place. Well, I took them to task on this. I rode 10 miles north and 10 miles south of Eagle Park and looked for open gates. And this is exactly what I found in every single one of them in this area. So right here, you have a very large, wide open gate with a bridge. And I went down this trail to see what I could find out because I thought this was kind of strange, you know. A mile south down the road, there's Eagle Pass and all that. And right here is a huge, wide open gate. Why would that be? Well, the first thing you might have noticed is there's 2 sets of cameras. There's the Border Patrol cameras and there's the new military FLIR and daytime cameras. And within 3 minutes of riding down this road, you come face to face with barbed wire and lots of armed soldiers. This is going to be a theme. Now, I'm way, way out past any other reporters or whatever, and every place you go down near the river, there's National Guard and, believe it or not, lots and lots of federal border patrol doing their jobs, unlike what the news is telling you. Now, why would that be? The Border Patrol and the state and the federal guys on the ground aren't mad at anybody. There's no conflict going on. The Border Patrol's down there doing what the Border Patrol's always done, except now they have the advantage of more hands, more guns, more people actually putting cuffs on people sneaking into the country. 6 million people that we know of in the last 2 years. 6 million people. Saddam Hussein, Iraq, the first time around, Desert Saber, Shield and Storm, the one I signed up for, he had a 1 million-man army, and we sent 1 million soldiers in the coalition in response. This is 6 million of them. And even if 1% is bad, that's still an enormous amount of people that could cause damage. And those numbers are only the ones they have on the books. No one has any clue how many people are actually sneaking into the country, to be perfectly honest. Every place that I traveled down here, there wasn't a single person moving that wasn't wearing a badge or a uniform. There were no migrants absolutely any place. And the people in the town of Eagle Pass, everybody that I spoke to, they don't even really know anything's going on. They don't even really, this isn't a thing to them. This is just no big deal. But if you look at the mainstream media, it's a standoff, the government against the state. Texas has seized Texas. You know what I mean? Like, how does that even work? How does that even work? And for those people that want to, rally around Donald Trump, he had 4 years to fix this wall, and he didn't. You know what I'm saying? In 4 years, he could have done that. He could have put a lot of Americans or even Mexican Americans to work, which is probably what it would have been, to build the wall and keep it up and running. But they didn't. So what's that make you think? And why is it that the mainstream is talking about this like it's a bloody standoff? The Border Patrol was absolutely everywhere doing what the Border Patrol does. There's no animosity of any type whatsoever at all. So Eagle Pass is about a mile that way. You can actually see it from here. And seems like they lost interest over here. I'm not seeing any fresh footprints or anything, so that's a good thing. And the river is way over yonder. You see it right there? And I mean, there's tons of clothes, backpacks, oversized mesh chair. A little folding pocket knife. There's clothes scattered all down the road. And as soon as you get to America, you can celebrate by jumping in this fence and swinging back and forth in a freedom type fashion. You know, they really had to put trash barrels here, because if they're not going to stop these people, they might as well give them someplace to put their trash, because it's absolutely everywhere. Now, I'm not going to bore you with footage of immigrants' clothing everywhere, but it's absolutely everywhere, and it stinks. The place smells horrible. It's unbelievable. I'm live at the Mexican border right now. Military's right down there. Military with canines is right there. This was one of the places that they like to pass through, but at least for today, no immigrants will be making their way to New York to attack police officers and such, and whatever else. But it's only temporary. You can see the little black bags the cartels leave in the trees. Tells them which ways to go. See that? I got here last night. It's my second day. I'm posting everything on JailBreak Overlander on YouTube. Bigger audience, more eyes. And this is one of the roads where people are saying the border's wide open. There's openings. It's for property owners and farmers. And every opening I went down, I ran into the military, and lots of them, and Border Patrol, because the National Guard aren't standing off against the Border Patrol. Border Patrol is happy that they're here because they need help. It isn't just the manpower, it's the legislation. The government's making the Border Patrol let these people run right through. That's for a reason. At any rate, if I don't get killed, I'll upload this later, because there's no cell phone down here. And you guys that followed me for a long time know that I can't just drive up and down the gate and take pictures of clothes on the ground and stuff like that. I'm actually out there. I've been out there for 3 days now, going up and down the trails. Every place that these guys go, I mean, these trails are massive. It looks like cows were walking through here. That's how many people have been flooding through here before this entire thing happened. And the problem is they've just moved up to the New Mexico, Arizona, and California. So as much as Eagle Pass is doing something, that's great. But what happens when the troops leave? Like, how is this all going to play out? Why is the government allowing this to happen? They're encouraging it to happen. Do you know what I mean? It's unbelievable. It's absolutely unbelievable. And it isn't just Biden. This has been going on for years and years, but it's just reaching epidemic levels now in the variety of people from Iran, Venezuela, every place, too many to name. It's amazing how many people from other countries and people that are on the terrorist watch list are finding their way across the Rio Grande into the United States, and our government doesn't want to stop it. Why is the border even an issue? It's the first thing. This is your house. Protect it. Well, they're not protecting it, and if you try to protect it, you're illegal. How is that even? You see what I'm saying? They're pushing for a result, and the result is conflict. Americans against Americans. That is the end game. Mark my words, or don't. At any rate, Like, share, and subscribe if you would, or don't. I'm out.